Yo, what's good out there? Welcome back to the channel, man. Happy New Year, all that good stuff, man. I just wanted to highlight y'all real quick about that issue with the brother Robert Brooks, man, the black man who was killed in New York City jail, Marcy prison, or Marcy lockup, whatever they call it. It's really horrible. I think it was a prison because he was doing like 12 or 13 years. And so it's like real sad about that, man. You know, as a black people, we just been such a victim in this country. It's everybody just been just brutalizing black people for so many decades. It's almost like normal behavior, but it's scary and it hurts because you see somebody like that who already is in a vulnerable situation, being in prison, can't defend yourself, and then even furthermore, they had him in handcuffs. So he was really brutalized by about 12 or 13 people, and one nurse. So that made 14, and they supposed to be on paid leave, and it's like real crazy. It's like the war against Black America, the war against Black people. That's the biggest war, and it's like not only does it come from the higher ups or the people in charge, if you will, but it also comes inside our culture where we have a certain disdain for each other, and it's like really horrible. It leaves us such a, Tupac said it when I was a younger guy. I was, excuse me, 19 years old, and he had an album that came out in 1992, and he said, "You got whites killing blacks, blacks killing blacks, cops killing blacks." He said, "Sometimes that just need to be we just need to be a soldier, straight soldier." And that song is a dope ass song. I know y'all probably haven't heard that because it's not like a famous song. They don't really promote that particular song, but that particular song is a song that Tupac made, and it's about him in a rap verse seeing his bigger brother sell drugs and go to prison. Then his mother told him, "I don't want to see no tears. Go break your brother out if you got something to say, if you hurt." And him and his friends go do that. They go break his brother out in a song. It's a very visually dope song. And in the end, it's just a captivating song. And this is one of the reasons why Tupac is such a dynamic rapper. But I know y'all probably never heard that song. If you have, then you know what I'm talking about. But it's called Soldiers. And it's a unique song because I grew up in a black neighborhood, the hood, and I can remember hearing the beat of that song and hearing people playing it. It's one of those unique beats that if you heard people playing it as they ride down the street, especially turned up loud, you knew that song. And I know, and I wanted y'all to, if you ever listen to it, you need to. Soldier Story by Tupac, because that's what this guy needed. That's what Tupac was saying. That that's not going to be the place for my brother. That's not going to be the place for my big brother. And it's so funny because my little brother went to prison not far after that song came out, the following year, matter of fact. And it was one of those really deep songs that really touched me. So as I grew older in life and my little brother was in prison, I just never forgot that song and how much of a deep impact it was and what Tupac was saying. Obviously, Tupac died a few years later after I got a little older. But I just was really hurt that that brother died like that, and those guys and the people will not be put up on charges because in America they don't do that. So they don't do like that. So this disdain that like you see a lot of times that black people have for each other in the other culture, they don't do that. They'll disagree and they might not mess with each other wholeheartedly, but they don't do this whole castigation, murder, take the next person out. They don't do that so heavily, and they do it because you do have the mass shootings and you do have the this, that, and the world. But I think the black people should see some of those moments in the scenarios like that guy went through, and that should bring us together, collectively having a mourn, collectively having a strength, collectively saying no. You know, we did do a fight back and made sure that the Kamala Harris did not become the next president because she went right up and started dissing black people, which was crazy. But that's her own choice to do. So you couldn't get the vote if that's what you're gonna do. Diss your I don't know, constituency, if they call it. But she didn't succeed. So and I think that was what she got. But she could have been fighting for things like prison reform and things like that to make sure that the prison guards are held to a higher standard or trained to a higher level, or maybe there's more mental health staffs in there to help people that can't be contained or whatever the scenario is, because ultimately it just rolls back to brute. For them to say that it's a hit squad in the jail where these people like to hurt people inside the prison, is, the police in there, and that still is able to sustain. It's kind of scary. It's like, damn, the cops got a group of gang. How can that even be still real? But it is. And they got the lady Letitia James. She's like the, I think, state prosecutor or somebody like that. And she put the footage out, which we are glad to see it. But some of those cops was already being investigated by her actual office from like 2022. Like two or three of the cops had already had a scenario with another guy, and he had to kind of go to them. And the federal government was like investigating these two cops, but they wasn't like off work. They wasn't like not able to be around inmates, none of that shit. And if it was a black person, these rules would have stood. Like, if you can't be around other inmates, you can't come to work. You got to work in the office now because you're under federal investigation. But those guys was able to still move around, and you see ultimately they was a part of this tumultuousness that happened to Robert Brooks, and his life is just gone for nothing. And rest in peace to him. Because could you imagine what his family is going through? They got to be super sad knowing that their family ain't going to now ever be coming home from prison because of this scenario. And then it's like news around the world. So it's like you can't even hide from the footage of seeing your family member being hurt. It's like what they went through, you got to actually look at it on the news, on the internet, in the commentaries. It's like, man. But the bigger question is, when does this stuff stop? Like, you know what I'm saying? When does it stop? A lot of people was claiming, oh, if Trump get back in office, they're going to be killing black people left and right. Da, 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 da. Well, Biden is still in office when this stuff like that happens. What is fixed? Not saying that Trump is going to come in here and it can't happen or it won't happen, but I'm saying it's not that. It's not that these people got some ultimate wand they can wave and it'll stop people from acting like that. It's just a sickness that people have against black people, and it won't go away. And it's nothing we can do to stop it because you randomly picked. It's like a lottery. Like, you the one, and then all of a sudden you caught up in some web, and it could lead to the end of your life, or some of those people that's out in the world, it could into jail for your life. And so it's like really a needed thing that need to be talked about and galvanized and and worked around. So y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about that, man, and leave some comments because I want to talk a little further about that in the comments. Peace.